Yep, the Beatles have done it again. Come up with yet another way for us to spend a lot of money. Of course, we're going to be talking about the anthology. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to Northern Revolutions. I'm Rob. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. As I mentioned, we are talking about the recently announced re-release of the Beatles Anthology. Probably one of the worst kept secrets, but I mean, everyone's been anticipating this for a while now. They tend to do a release every fall, it seems, for the last number of years, and everyone kind of speculated that Anthology was what was going to be on the horizon. And so they cryptically posted 1, 2, 3, 4 on the website today with the back cover of the anthologies as the backdrop for that. So yeah, Anthology. Back in the day, it started with a 3-night video documentary on ABC in North America. I'm sure probably the BBC in the UK. And there was 3 volumes of music, Anthology 1, 2, and 3. Spanning their career from start to finish, and there was an anthology book. And man, I loved it. It was a defining event in shaping my musical, whatever the heck this has become. I was just starting to get into music when the anthology aired on ABC in 1994. I watched it with my mom and dad. I was all in, and I loved that first episode at the end when there was the countdown, new Beatles song, 30 seconds. And Free as a Bird came on, and it was amazing because obviously I'm too young to have been alive when the Beatles were actually issuing music. So it was incredible. So the anthologies for me were sort of the gateway into the Beatles. 15-year-old me with my crappy part-time job. I bought Beatles Anthology 1, Beatles Anthology 2, Beatles Anthology 3. I bought the single for Free as a Bird. Bought the single for Real Love. I was all in. I love these. I didn't know enough to tell what the difference was between some of the alternate versions and the album versions, but I loved all of it anyway. I loved the early stuff from before they were famous. I loved the unreleased songs. I was just enthralled with the artwork that Klaus Wurman had done, where it's, a collage that spans all 3 of these. And after it aired on ABC, it came out in VHS, which of course was like this big. It was huge. And I bought it. Then years later, when it came out in DVD, I bought it because the video documentary was absolutely incredible. I bought the book. It's the original hardcover first pressing. It's seen a little bit of wear and tear because it's 30 years old, but man, loved it. Have I read it? Hell no. That's too much reading, but I've looked at all the pictures because I'm an intellectual. And of course, I bought the vinyl. 1, 2, and 3. These are amazing trifolds, or whatever you want to call them. And I bought these when they came out, not years later. This was the one this was what I was most excited about back in the mid-90s was grabbing these on vinyl. So I love Anthology. I'm all in on it. What do I feel about the new 2025 Anthology? Am I going to buy it? Absolutely not. Here's why. I've seen a few other people mention this. Robert Fitton did a video of this, and his thoughts were exactly the same as mine. It's cash grab. Let me be clear. If you want to buy it, knock yourself out. I am not an influencer. I'm not trying to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. You want to buy it? That's phenomenal. Go for it. I looked at it, honestly, because my knee-jerk reaction is I got to have this. It's the Beatles. It was going to be $560 Canadian. Because what it is, they're doing the 3 volumes and then an additional 4th volume. 12 LPs in total. It's not a terrible price, actually, for 12 LPs. But when I already own 9 of them, it's absurd. It really reminded me of the Red and the Blue album releases a couple years ago, which I made a video of here on my channel. I'll link it. And I kind of said the same thing. That was a cash grab. They shoehorned in now and then the new single, added some other songs that didn't need to be on Red and Blue because Red and Blue was perfect the way it was. They expanded it, came in a box. When it comes in a box, everyone's going to buy it because it's in a box. Who cares if it's in a box? That was a cash grab. Yes, there were new mixes, but am I going to listen to them any more than the other ones I already have? I have the previous version of the Red and the Blue, which was the 2014 remasters. That's good enough for me. It seemed kind of silly. Why would I buy it all over again for songs I already have and songs I already have on studio albums? There was no point to buying it. But the Beatles know that their fans are passionate. And listen, I'm passionate too. Not that passionate though. So I passed on the Red and Blue. And it's the same tactic with Anthology. Because you can't buy Anthology 4 on its own. That's all I want. I don't need 1, 2, and 3 all over again. And I don't need it in a box. I don't give a crap that it's in a box. It is a way to get people who want to be completists like myself to spend another $500. And I really want that 4th disc, even though the contents on it frankly suck. And I'll get back to that in a second. It's kind of like an itch I can't scratch, right? There's going to be a Beatles record out there I don't have. And I'm not going to spend $500 for 9 other albums that I already have. That's silly. Again, you want to do that, knock yourself out. I'm not trying to dissuade you. I'm just expressing my personal opinion. Yeah, they're remastered. Who cares? Honestly, I don't care. If you care, that's cool. But I'm going remastered version of songs that are just outtakes or alternate versions. So what? I get having a good remaster of the studio albums. I get that. I have the mono remasters. I don't need the demos remastered. The heart of it for me is Anthology 4. And when I thought about what Anthology 4 could potentially be, I was excited. There's been a lot of buzz about Carnival of Light. The Beatles' sonic experimentation. It was mainly a Paul thing. Performed publicly once and never saw the light of day again. But it's in the vaults. And we should hear it. We'd love to hear it. And I'm sure there's a few other things. I'm sure there's demos of songs they did for other people. But you look at what's on Anthology 4. Half of the 26 tracks came from the Super Deluxes for Abbey Road, Let It Be, and Sgt. Pepper's. I already have those. So really it's 13 songs. $500 for 13 songs. That math doesn't work. There is, and I like this idea, the 2025 remix of Free as a Bird and Real Love. I love both of those songs, especially Real Love. And they needed a remix. They took Peter Jackson's machine-assisted learning technology and separated the vocals of John's properly and did a remix. And Free as a Bird's been out for a while, and it sounds incredible. Okay, so 13 songs plus Free as a Bird and Real Love. I'm not spending $500 for that. Hopefully they'll come out as a single on a 45 or 12-inch or something maybe down the road, or maybe it'll only be digital. Who knows? But I'm not spending the money on the box set for that. And the other 13 songs, they're nothing special. They're songs from earlier in the Beatles' career. Some of them are from an iTunes exclusive from like 10 years ago. But it's nothing cool. What I would have loved to have seen them do, because Peter Jackson is behind some of this and he's working for the Beatles now, and he's got his machine-assisted learning, which does incredible things. Why couldn't they have taken that? And apparently he's working on it. Take a run at the Star Club tapes. Even if he doesn't have all of the Star Club Hamburg tapes done, give us a handful of those tracks on Anthology 4 and give us Carnival of Light. And use machine-assisted learning to clean up some of the Shea Stadium tracks because it's the anniversary of Shea Stadium this month. So that would have been cool. Give us the rest of the Decca auditions because Anthology 1 has 3, I think, or 4 songs from the Decca tapes. They did 15. Put the rest of those on there. Give us the entire Rooftop concert officially. I know it was available digitally, but give it to us in physical format. There's a lot that could have been on Anthology 4, and it is massively disappointing. I'm passing on the music. If down the road the Anthology records are become available individually. Of course, I'll grab volume 4 so that I have all of them, but no desire for the other ones. Reprinted the book. Cool. It's great. I don't need it because I've got the original. I guess they've made a 9th episode of the video series, which I guess covers the Threedles. Paul, George, and Ringo working on Free as a Bird, Real Love, and Now and Then. Cool. I can't wait to see that. It's going to be available at Disney Plus if they release it physically. I'm not going to buy the whole set over again. That's crazy. But it's good that it's going to be airing again, giving new life to those. And I guess they're going to update them and restore them or whatever. It'll give a new generation that doesn't have them on DVD the chance to watch Anthology. I'm all for that. I'm all for a new generation getting to experience Anthology. What I'm opposed to is how they're forcing everyone to buy the box set. Same with the CDs. They had just released them individually. I wouldn't have a complaint other than, the song selection for Volume 4 is kind of lackluster. To me, it seems like they're like, well, we got to put something extra in there. Let's just do this. That's just my opinion. I'm the crusty old man. This is get off my lawn. So don't listen to what I have to say. But I'm going to pass in on Anthology because I think it is a poorly thought out endeavor. And with some more planning, could have been an absolutely incredible anniversary reissue. But I think they missed the mark. Or maybe they didn't care enough and it's just a cash grab. Either way, if you're going to buy it, that's awesome. You're going to watch it, that's even better. That's great. I'm glad people get to enjoy it, but too rich for my blood. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the new anniversary reissue of the Beatles Anthology. That's everything for me, everybody. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the flip side.